In this video, I'll explain how to add listing categories and custom listing fields. First of all, you have to define the structure of your service marketplace by adding listing categories to make it easier for users to navigate. Go to the Listings Categories section. Since we are building a service marketplace like Thumbtack and TaskRabbit, I'll add some common service categories like handyman, so website visitors can easily find someone to do their domestic repairs and minor renovations. I'll also add a babysitting category to allow busy parents to find a reliable babysitter hassle-free. Finally, let's add a cleaning category to make housekeeping much easier for website visitors. When adding a new listing category, set a name for it, add a description, and set a parent category if you want to turn it into a subcategory. This way you can add multiple category levels. Also, it's better to choose a category icon. When finished, simply click on the Add Category button. Let's add the two other categories. Keep in mind that there are no limits, so you can create as many listing categories as required for a service marketplace. In the same way, I'll also add some other categories behind the scenes. Once you are done with listing categories, it's time to add some custom listing fields. By default, the listing form contains the basic fields like title and description, but HivePress allows you to add your own fields and search filters specific to the website you are building. Please note that in HivePress, all items used as custom listing fields and search filters are called attributes. For example, let's take a look at the ExpertHive demo website and I'll show you what everything looks like. Here we have listings. Listings have attributes and they can show some value like here, or they can be search filters like here. Also, an attribute can be a field in the listing submission form, and I'll show you it later. Let's come back to our website and add the first attribute. To add a new attribute, go to the Listings Attributes section and click Add New. Let's add a few attributes for this service marketplace. For example, let's add an availability attribute so service providers can set how many days in advance a service can be provided. For example, if a professional sets 2 days, work cannot be done in less than 2 days. First, set the attribute name and allow its front-end editing, so it appears in the listing form for users. Here, set a unique field name used for storing the attribute values. And here, select the field type. For the availability field, it's better to use the select type. In the search section, you can allow users to search and filter listings by attribute value. Let's simply mark it as filterable and select the search field type. I recommend using select here as well. Finally, you can define how the attribute value will look on the listing page by assigning it to certain template areas. I'll use the ExpertHive demo website to show you what I mean by template areas. If you want to display your attribute here, choose a block primary. If here, then choose the block secondary. Then, if you want to display your attribute here, set a page primary, and to display here, set a page secondary. I'll also select an icon for this attribute. Now, you can set its display format. You can use the replaceable tokens in the display format. Simply hover on the question icon to view the available tokens. I'll use this display format for this field. After you go through the attribute settings, simply click on the Publish button. Now, it's necessary to click on the Edit Options button and add some options for users to select from. By the way, if you want to allow service providers to manage their availability automatically, You can install the bookings extension and customers will be able to book services for a particular day or time. That's it! In the same way, you can add unlimited listing attributes, but please note that each subsequent searchable field may affect the search performance, so it's better to keep the number of search filters to a minimum. I'll also add a few more attributes by following the same steps, but I'll do this behind the scenes just to save your time. Please note that similarly, you can create attributes for service provider profiles. For example, you can create an email attribute and service providers will set their contact details when they register on your platform, or an experience attribute if you want to allow customers to filter professionals by their experience. Also, you can create attributes for requests. For example, you can add a budget attribute to require customers to indicate their budget when they post a new request. You can create them in the same way as listing attributes. Alright, now we can move to the next video, where I'll walk you through the HivePress settings.